spent 17 years in school. I'm talking K through 12 in college. After going through that, I had started to, just fumble around in some things and learn some items and some subjects that I was never taught or even made aware of in school. It was out there, might have heard it here and there, but there was no focus on it at whether a high level or just a broad brush. And then years ago I started homeschooling my children, my two children, and then I really found out what I was not taught in school, what is not available for children at all to learn in school, what is not even broad brushed, what there's not detail of. And I feel these things are essential. So because of that, I was very happy I pulled them from government schools, also known as public schools, and started homeschooling them years ago. And I made sure that they learned these items along with other things that government school teaches, which may or may not be as important, depending on circumstances. My opinion is that it's not nearly as important as the items that are missed. Anyways, I'll move along from that. So I just want to start by saying some of the items that I was never taught, never even broad brushed are, or that I had to learn on my own after, and I've taught my children now, is taxes. What is inflation? What is the negative things of inflation? What really is inflation besides just hearing from the government saying we need 2% inflation, or we want to average 2% inflation? What is it? What does it do? What is the downfall of it? What is the possible good of it? We got personal finances, how to deal with your personal finances, car loan, save up for a house, how to dive into if you're going to go to school, how to take on those loans, what do those loans mean, how to budget, how to budget your home, yourself if you're not living at home, if you're living at your own place with roommates or whatever, how to budget, how and what to save. So how and what to save, what is real money, what is fiat currency, what gets you the benefit of preserving your wealth. None of this stuff was taught in school at all. How to avoid debt. Why is debt a bad thing? Primarily, how to use debt for good. Is that a possibility? Go over that stuff. None of this was taught. What about medical and life insurance? What is that? Do you need it? Should you get it? How much? What is the positives of that? What are the negatives of not having that? Or possibly having that or having the wrong type? How to be prepared for emergencies? What you need to sustain an emergency, whether that means you somehow totaled your car in an accident, insurance didn't cover everything, you need to get enough money to cover that repair. Or if you weren't full covered, for insurance, you somehow got totaled and there's no insurance for that, or you had something was acting up and a major repair was needed for your vehicle, along those lines, or some sort of medical thing happened, or something happened with your home, something happened with something you're renting or your animal that you have, how to be prepared for emergencies on that level or on more extreme levels. How loans work, what type of loans are there, how they work, how they should be used, which ones should be used for certain things, which ones shouldn't be used. What is entrepreneurship? Do you want to? Are you able to? Do you wish to get by and go through life without having to work at a job under an employer? Can you be self-employed? Can you start your own business? What does that mean? Everything around here, time, life management, how to negotiate, whether it be at a garage sale or for larger items, or even for a new job, an employment, how to negotiate your wage or benefits. home repair, homeowner's insurance, that goes along with the insurance thing of it, cooking, how to cook anything. Whether it's the easiest thing to cook, besides just open the package, just throw it in the microwave, or an extravagant thing to cook, how to cook anything if needed, or if you want to. Self-defense, they don't teach anything about that. It wasn't taught, it wasn't brought up, it wasn't a subject. Why it's needed, not to go out there and be offensive, but self-defense if needed, for any reason. Firearm safety, I believe this is essential, whether you agree with guns or not, whether you think they're good or not. I think this is essential that everyone should learn, because the more you learn, the less fear you have, and the less accidents will happen, and the more you will know about an item, whether you hate it or love it. The more you learn, the better. So I think that should be taught in every school. It's safer that way. Gardening, whether it's a huge garden or a small garden, or gardening in your home. First aid. First aid, they did I think it was a short little week or two thing in first aid with the dummy there, I think that was called Annie, and you had to go through and pretend the CPR stuff and that. They did a little bit of that, but I think that should be a much larger subject, and it should be repeated throughout some years, because I think that's essential to learn and know that. And thinking outside the box, not just in the square thing here. That goes along with creativity. I think creativity, at least what I've learned and came across, creativity is almost just as, if not more important than knowledge. Because without creativity, nothing really is discovered or invented. It could be something simple or something huge. And persistence. How do you teach that? Well, you can't really teach it. You can hold a class or seminars on it, but you can teach about how important it is, and the difference between one person being persistent and the other person not, and where things may lie and where things may end up. Persistence. And from that, I'm going to just do a little sidebar of this, and I'll do a quote from Coolidge, our 30th president. He said, nothing in this world can take the place of persistence. Talent will not. Nothing is more common than unsuccessful men with talent. Genius will not. Unrewarded genius is almost a proverb. Education will not. The world is full of educated derelicts. Persistence and determination alone are omnipotent, are the most important thing. And that's Coolidge. A few other things in here. So the home economics work classes, I had taken that. I think it was a quarter or a trimester. And that's where they talked about and did a little broad brushing of cooking, sewing, family relationships. I think they have to do a deeper dive and still have this available, which is not community cleaning, household and self-upkeep, nutrition, household finance, good life habits, shop class, which is no longer there anymore. That should be, I think, it should be quarterly, or at least offered quarterly. If not, should be something you have to have at least a couple times. That teaches woodworking, building, creating. There's small engine repair, which I think is essential. Just so it can be small stuff for lawnmowers, snow plowers, trimmers, chainsaws, just any small engine repair, just so you understand how the combustion engine works, or even if it doesn't have anything to do with gas-powered engines, if it's electric engines. There's battery-operated weed whackers, trimmers out there, battery-operated chainsaws. Just some sort of repair with that, I think is very important. Speech class, I think, is very important. Learning to communicate with your peers in front of your peers, how to teach something in front of your peers, or at least get something out there and try to get something across to your peers in front of them. I think that's very important. That will help with interviews. That will help with a lot of communication overall. So as I did this, I tried to focus with my my children these items that I feel I was severely missed out in all my years of schooling, and I feel it is very essential. And if you are homeschooling, or if there are nowadays distance learning, which I feel they don't get taught anything, if anything, crumbs of what they were, and at that, those crumbs that they were, you're getting crumbs from those things that they were being taught, which I feel lacks so much. That's my opinion. I just had a couple books I want to show. I know I showed these before, but I think these are essential, especially if you have children, no matter the ages. You can go 7 to 17, 7 to 37. These are great, just books to get them involved and learn some skills and some knowledge and background. The one is Economics in One Lesson, right here. It's a great book. It's not a real easy read. There's some older sort of wording in here, but you get the gist. It's a real good book. And it's a short book. And another one is When Money Destroys Nations. I feel this is essential, especially at the time we are in, with talking about inflation, hyperinflation. This is about Zimbabwe and what happened to their fiat currency and why we have a $100 trillion bill that's worth nothing. I feel that's going to happen to us here in the United States. I feel this is very important for everybody. If you're 70, it's important. If you're 7, it's important. So I feel, these are good things to start. And if your children are in government school, my suggestion, you can do what you want, but I would say, like I did, I pulled mine out, and I've looked back at this, and I'm so happy I did that. They've learned so much more, and they're so much more prepared for everything out there. So think about that. Even if they are in there, try to add a little bit to it. At least I would. Try to add a little bit to it. Start reading once a week with them. Read once a night with them. 20 minutes. One of these books. I got other videos with a few other books I think are very essential. So I just want to get this out there and say, do the best you can. Thank you for watching. As always, stay vigilant. Protect yourself, protect your family, and protect your wealth.